This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
Welcome to Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends, where we take a deep dive into the Star Wars universe, such as characters, creatures, stories, and so much more. Hosted by Ben of Temeria and Kodojo.
Welcome back, Adepts Acolytes, to another episode of Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends. I am one of your hosts, Brandon, or also known as Ben of Temeria, and always with me is my good friend, Kodojo.
Hello there.
And today, we are finally getting into the era of Star Wars we both heavily enjoy, which is, the Old Republic era. We're finally getting into the Old Republic.
Yes.
And that was an evil laugh. What the hell? But yeah, we're diving into going into the Sith Wars, specifically the Sith Wars and the Old Sith Wars, and we'll dive a little bit more into individual battles and the timeline and stuff like that in the second half of the show. By the way, this might be a little bit shorter because the Sith Wars is massive, but also it's very specific dates and battles.
The Sith Wars is stretched out over 40 years of various wars, as it were.
Well, the Sith Wars are. The old Sith Wars, much longer. That was 400 years. So let's dive a little bit into it. So the Sith Wars of the 3600 BBY were a galaxy-wide struggle between the Galactic Republic and the reconstituted Sith Empire, which had vowed revenge against the Republic after the Sith defeat in the Great Hyperspace War of 5000 BBY.
Which, by the way, the Great Hyperspace War, I believe, is the literal beginning of every major galactic war that has ever happened because of the Sith and the Jedi. I swear, there has never been a major galactic war without one or both of these organizations involved.
Yes. Yes. I mean, we see it in canon with the High Republic specifically. We have the Jedi fighting the Nihil, which is just a giant pirate
crime organization.
Yeah.
And the Sith were nowhere near that, which is I'm kind of sad there wasn't some
just a little bit of little
of the
tidbits
Sith in the background,
kind of orchestrating things. Yeah, I would have wished they would have done something,
or them just observing the situation or something.
Oh yeah, that'd have been great. So we get a little bit of an acolyte, but that's well past the Nihil stuff.
Oh yeah.
So the Sith resurgence in later millennia resulted in the Old Sith Wars, which likewise ended in a Republic victory in 3950 BBY. Under Sith Emperor Vitiate, the Empire launched the Great Galactic War on the Republic in 3681 BBY, and while the two factions negotiated a ceasefire with the signing of the Treaty of Coruscant in 3653 BBY, a Cold War persisted until 3640 BBY. Which this is obviously the events of SWTOR, Star Wars The Old Republic MMO. So
And funnily enough, the Great Galactic War, you see almost, well, not its entirety, but just through the game trailers.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just the cinematics, CG
which
trailers, which are
which
phenomenal
still
and are
hold up to this
still.
day.
Oh, absolutely. They were well ahead of their time, and that
Oh
was
yeah,
2011.
I mean, it's like, why can't they make a movie like this? I know it's expensive, but I think it'll be well worth the money.
Yeah, I would agree. We'll see with because we did the announcement of the change of Lucasfilm, right?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, with Dave in charge, I'm sure they'll probably do a little bit more. I mean, with Fates of the Old Republic coming out here within the next 3 years, yeah, we're going to get more. I would imagine we'll get more Old Republic stuff in the future.
I mean, I think that's the next direction they have to take at this point.
Yeah. So the Republic and the Empire returned to battle with the outbreak of the Galactic War, and while Vichy abandoned the Empire to oversee the Eternal Empire conquest of the galaxy, the Eternal Alliance defeated the Eternal Empire, allowing the Republic and the Empire to continue their struggles with a third Galactic War. In that war, Darth Malgus came into conflict with Emperor Darth Valrin and the Dark Council, as well as the Alliance commander who had sided with the Republic.
All right. Anyway,
So this is
yeah,
obviously still the ongoing. This is the ongoing stuff in the game currently, because
yeah.
Darth Malgus made a comeback back in the 20th anniversary of SWTOR, which was 5 years ago. This year being 2026, we are finally getting the conclusion of the Legacy of the Sith expansion, and we'll see where the game goes into next. Because I know there's going to be a big the live stream they're going to be doing this month in February, specifically talking about the this year's stuff for 2026 and the 15th anniversary. So we all know we're going to get a new expansion.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we kind of know how this war is going to end. It's going to end with the Sith Empire's defeat, Malgus's defeat, and the Republic still remains.
Yeah. Because
So the only real question
to.
is, how is it going to end for your character and all your companions at this
Correct.
point?
Yep. So, and then after the Sith Wars of the 3600s, continuing militarism in the Axis reinvigorated old tensions in the region, initiating the 17th Alaskan conflict.
Okay, so
For anybody, this is like this sounds like something that's in real world. And I was like, wait a minute, hold up, did I get that right?
No, this is
Alaskan, Coruscant, Alaskan, and Corellia. Alaskan being a planet.
Yeah, which is kind of weird. I'm wondering if George Lucas, I'm guessing Lucas just said this state right here. No, but the
Lucas
access
had nothing to do with this stuff.
Yeah,
he didn't do any of the Old Republic stuff.
Did he?
No. He only did the main 6 films in Clone Wars. That's the only thing he's ever touched.
The access is in reference to the Preliminum trade route. So I don't know why they gave the name access. I mean, they should have had better. It was a vital trade route in the super hyper route that ran through the galaxy along the Corellian Run. It was one of 2 trade routes that made up the border of the Slice. Don't know what that is. Yeah. So yeah, access is just referring to a particular powerful trade route.
Right.
In the galaxy.
Yep. So there's a conflict in the trade route. Go figure, because there always is. So, and then a little bit behind the scenes on the Sith Wars. So the Sith Wars were first mentioned indirectly in the 2004 Obsidian Entertainment video game Star Wars Knights of the Republic 2, The Sith Lords. The struggle first appeared in the 2009 webcomic, The Old Republic Threat of Peace Act 1 Treaty of Coruscant, and the first identified in the 2012 reference book, The Essential Guide to Warfare, written by Jason Fry and Paul R. Urquhart. Ukahart.
Sounds Urknot.
It does look like I almost said Urknot for a second. There. It's like, wait a minute. But yeah, obviously it's referencing KOTOR 2 because KOTOR 2 is the towards the end of the timeline before SWTOR, obviously.
Yeah, KOTOR 2 takes place 295 years before SWTOR. It's like
roughly
5 years after KOTOR 1, roughly. So.
Yep. And then, in opposed to the wars between the Jedi and Sith depicted in Star Wars Legends media, Star Wars creator George Lucas stated that there has never been a war between the two groups.
Huh?
This was obviously before Disney bought Star Wars, and to where then they kind of retconned that decision. So no, they fought. they fought.
Oh no,
multiple times.
They fought. Oh yeah. Wait a second. As opposed to the wars between Star Wars Legends media, Star Wars, there were never been a war between. I don't find. I don't believe believable.
That. I don't. No. It's really hard to with these two groups specifically. It's really hard to say, oh yeah, they never fought wars between each other, and I was like, really?
No,
they have laser swords and the Force.
Want to kill them? Why does Sith want to kill them?
Obviously, they have totally fought each other in multiple wars.
I swear, we need to do an episode on the Jedi with 2 eyes.
I'm pretty sure me and Teacup did back in the day.
Back
when we first started the show.
Yeah, because that never fought battles before.
Right. Well, again, George Lucas only did the first 6 films and Clone Wars. That's the only thing he ever did. He let other people use his property to obviously bring more content, and that's where we get all the Legends material. And even back before Disney bought Star Wars, all that was still expanded. It was never canon. None of the only canonical stuff was the 6 films and Clone Wars. That's it.
Yeah.
As many people say, oh no, KOTOR 1 and 2 were canon, Starkiller was canon. It's like, no, they were expanded. They made it to where they could fit into the lore of Star Wars, but they were never canonical. Now,
of course, George Lucas was making bank off of all this, so he really didn't care at some point.
He didn't give it. And the other thing with specifically Old Republic, it's so far back it doesn't even remotely touched any of the things that he actually worked on. So all of that, so you could say, that all happened and had no ties.
Zero effect
in the stuff. So that's why Disney do Old Republic. Then you literally don't have to worry about anything because it would physically not affect anything in the timeline with the Skywalker saga.
Yeah, I mean it'll be great for a tabletop RPG. Because
my God, they should do a new one.
You can have multiple Jedi without breaking anything. I mean, you can even have an evil campaign with Sith.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can do that with the Star Wars Fantasy Flight stuff with the Force and Destiny tabletop. You can easily do it with that.
Homebrew it,
do Old Republic specifically because that would be so much fun. First off, Disney, make a new tabletop. That tabletop hasn't been going on since 2020. Make a new one, please.
You talk tabletop. You talking about RPG or Legion?
Okay. No, tabletop RPG. The Force and Destiny stuff. So now getting into the old Sith Wars. So this is the name given to the scenes of conflicts that started with the Great Sith War and lasted until the end of the Sith Civil War in 3950 BBY. The conflict centered around the number of fallen Jedi. Exar Kun and Oleg Quello Droma instigated the Great Sith Wars, and they fell to the dark side of the Force. The Jedi Knights Revan and Malak had led a new Sith Empire against the Galactic Republic in the Jedi Civil War after they were corrupted by the hidden Sith Emperor at the end of the Mandalorian Wars. An exiled Jedi Master Correa rallied the remnants of the Jedi's Revan's Empire and led them to the genocidal campaign against the Jedi Order.
Yeah.
Um,
Exar Kun.
ooh,
I don't know a lot about him other than he was a Jedi. He fell.
hmm
He fought a war, lost, and then went to Yavin 4,
yes.
conquered the local people, built the Masasi
hmm
temples, and that was pretty much like the end of his story right
Yep.
there.
Yeah, I mean, there's more to it than that, but Exar Kun is also he is one of the legends of the Sith. Like the Sith really like use him a lot in teachings and stuff like that. Much like Revan, obviously. So, a little on their history going into the old Sith Wars. So, included in this era were the Great Sith War, which was in 3996 BBY, the Mandalorian Wars, which lasted from 3976 BBY to 3960 BBY, the Jedi Civil War, which is 3959 to 3956 BBY, 3 years. The
Galaxy's a big place.
yeah, the Sith Civil War, which is 3956 to 3950 BBY, the Dark Wars, which is 3955 to 3951 BBY, the First Jedi Purge, 3954 to 3951 BBY, and the Onderon Civil War, which was in 3951 BBY.
Now,
Going
wow,
into the second half, we'll go dive into a little bit more of
yeah,
these specific conflicts.
yeah, but
So,
there's like nearly 40 years of almost constant warfare
mhm.
going on here.
Yeah, there's literally no peace at all
Yeah. I mean, you might
during this
get
time.
like one, maybe 1.5 decades of non-wars.
Or a couple months.
Yeah.
Or just a couple months of peace. So the almost continuous 50 years of war nearly shattered the Galactic Republic and resulted in near total annihilation of the Jedi Order. However, the Republic held in the end and limited, at least for the time being, such threats as the Mandalorians, the Krath, and the Sith. Because of the long and bloody conflicts, the galactic citizenry gained a hardened resolve, and the galactic emerged stronger than it was before. Obviously.
Yeah, the citizens of the galaxy is like, we are tired of this Monday to Friday war, this Monday to Friday.
Yeah, do we get weekends off? Like, so major figures in the time period of the Old Sith Wars included Yoluk Quell Adroma, Exar Kun, Nomi Sunrider, Kreia, Mandalore the Indomitable, the Mandalore the Ultimate, Revan, Malak, Basta Lashan, and Mitra Shurik. Which obviously the last four, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, should be pretty recognizable if you play KOTOR 1 and 2.
Yeah. Nomi Sunrider, if I'm remembering this correctly, was a part of a pair of siblings that accidentally found the Sith Empire on Korriban. She's
Born, married to Arthur Sunrider. Let me see here. Doesn't say that she has.
I could have sworn. No, I guess not.
She
No,
was
I'm guessing a different
specifically
person.
in the Kraith conflict and the like the revolt on Alderaan.
Okay, I guess this was. No, I'm thinking of the Great Hyperspace War. I'm thinking of. Okay, never mind.
That's fair.
She looks like the picture they're using for her makes
Oh,
me
what's
think
really
of.
cool is Nomi's Sunrider appeared in unused concept sketch for Star Wars: The Clone Wars for the second season.
Really?
Yeah.
Second season. I'm trying to remember what happened.
Also
In the second
depicted
season.
Odon and Olak Quell Droma. So they were going
And
they were going to add KOTOR stuff. Well, I mean, obviously, if you go into the Mortis arc, they were going to add Revan.
Yeah.
And originally in one of the scenes with the sun, this should kind of like canonize, hey, Darth Revan existed. This is
Yeah,
a
and
thing.
I think it was Revan and Bane
Yeah.
were trying to
And
either
it was
corrupt or console
the
son.
the son was trying to get counsel from the two most powerful Sith Lords ever existed, which was Revan and then Bane. Bane being the rule of two, and Revan being the one who followed both the Jedi and who
The
has
Sith.
been on both sides,
Hmm.
showcasing mastery.
Yeah.
No, Grey Jedi don't exist, by the way. Just getting that out now. That was a fan-made concept. Does not exist. We have a whole episode on it. Anyway, Filoni was doing the episode and everything and thought it was really cool. George, obviously being on the project with the Clone Wars, watched the scene and is like, that's cool, but it doesn't make any sense. If the son is the embodiment of the dark side, why would he gain counsel from two dead Sith Lords? So then it was cut. So.
Yeah, but funny thing is, if I remember correctly, which I probably don't, it's been so long since I've seen Clone Wars, that the son was having trouble being a dark side person.
Yeah, I mean, much like Anakin, like he was faltering, and until
Yeah.
like Vader, he was pretty dark side, but towards the end of his life, he was faltering between light and dark, specifically
Yeah.
against Luke. So, also, so going back into the old Sith Wars, so while the major conflicts of the old Sith Wars were over the end of the Sith Civil War, the Can's disorders, 3970 to 3670 BBY, continue for nearly 3 centuries after the triumph of the Republic and the defeat of the Sith. 300 years.
Years.
Holy crap.
Over the
Trying to remember.
see until honestly, it just seems like a power-hungry group that took a chunk out of the galaxy.
Yeah, specifically in the Can sector and the Outer Rim. So it was, out from the core worlds and all that.
So it's essentially like the Hutts. They carved out a piece of territory in the galaxy like the Hutts,
Mhm.
and just lost to the Republic eventually.
Yep, pretty much. And then a major technological advance of the old Sith Wars period was the navigation computer. Became generally available during the Restoration period that followed the Great Sith War and quickly rendered the hyperspace beacon system obsolete.
Yeah.
So they didn't use hyperspace beacons anymore to travel light speeds. It's just, hey, here's a nav computer, input the coordinates, done.
Yeah, and this essentially, whenever you go to a spaceport or something, it connects to one central computer, and it gets an update from that. It updates that computer and gets updates from other ships, and essentially it's like trading maps of like, okay, here's this new place, watch out for these shores. It's like updating how hyperspace lanes are acting.
Right. Yep. So with that, let's take a quick mid-break, thank our amazing patrons, and when we come back, we'll talk more of the actual events of the Sith Wars. So stay tuned.
This episode is brought to you by Perfect Bistro Cat Food. Cats, this ad is for you. Has your human ever called you picky, persnickety, choosy? If so, Perfect Bistro Cat Food is for you. With ingredients like wild-caught tuna and pasture-raised lamb, tantalizing textures, and delectable flavors that meet even the most discerning cat standards. You're not picky, you're just perfectionists. Perfect Bistro, mealtime perfection for every cat. Have your human visit perfectbistro.com.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
All right, welcome to the middle of the show. We're talking about everything with podcasts. It's nothing to do with the lore of Star Wars. Here we want to thank all of our amazing patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. If you too want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/holocronhistories, where you can get ad-free episodes or even join us once a month on the show itself. You can also leave us ratings and reviews on Apple and Spotify. Leave 5-star review on Apple with some words or a nice Spotify comment or read it out loud. Then next time on the show, which we do have one, we actually have 3 from M27 saying, I love this podcast in the world. And just saying they love the show. Every single one of them is loving the show. So, thank you for listening. You can also find us on a few different Discord servers, the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, as well as my own Discord server, the Ben & Friends Podcasting Discord, where you can find this show and all the other shows that I host, which are the Final Fantasy Lorecast, the Gundam Lorecast, the Wizard Lorecast, and the Witcher Lorecast. And now, yes, it's finally happening, everyone. Finally, we are doing the Dragon Ball Lorecast. So, stay tuned for that. It's episodes for that we're going to start recording hopefully here mid-February. So hopefully here in the next couple weeks you'll hear the first episode. So yeah, we're doing finally giving to the peer pressure from my patrons from Final Fantasy in my Discord. We're finally doing it.
Finally gave it. You folded like a wet paper towel.
Hey, it took a year for me to fold. Okay, took me a year. Give me some credit. And it's not just me, it's Steven and Jesse. So my co-host from Final Fantasy and my co-host from Gundam, they're joining with me to do the Dragon Ball Lorecast. And honestly, we're all like happy to have Steven because we weren't sure if he was going to live, if he was going to do another podcast. So just like how our patrons, we said this on our last patron channel, Final Fantasy, just like how our patrons wear us down, he just had to wear his wife down to get her permission. So, but we're all super excited, and I know Steven's super pumped. He actually is going back to rewatch all the original Dragon Ball and DBZ. There actually is. He's actually currently watching Kai because he's never actually watched Kai. But yeah, it's gonna be fun, and it's a podcast. I can literally, just like this show, I can just pull things out of my head and know what I'm talking about. So. Because I have consumed so much Dragon Ball content in my life. Honestly, that anime is what got me into anime. So
yeah, I've seen a little bit of Dragon Ball. I've watched a little bit of it. The most I've ever watched of Dragon Ball would be the YouTube show that I'm sure we're not allowed to say anything about.
We're not talking about the abridged series. We're not talking about that on the show. We're not doing that.
That is probably the most I've ever watched of Dragon Ball.
It is funny, but that's one thing we will not discuss on the Dragon Ball Lorecast because it is not official, and it kind of disrespects Toriyama's vision for Dragon Ball. So never go to a convention and ask Sean Schemmel about anything with the abridged series because he will not answer that question because he hates it. Because it disrespects Toriyama's writings for abridged or for Dragon Ball. So even though it is funny,
It's funny as hell.
No. Anyway, trying to think. Star Wars news. Obviously, besides the change at Lucasfilm.
Okay.
Oh, we got Maul Shadow Lord.
Okay, so here we have the latest update list of all the projects going on right now. April 6th, Maul Shadow Lord, Season 1, 10 episodes. May 22nd, 2026, The Mandalorian and Grogu, theatrical release. And then sometime in 2026, we have Visions, The Ninth Jedi, limited series. Star Wars Zero Company and Star Wars Galactic Racer, both video games. And there is a post somewhere, I'm not sure where, that says that there will be pod racing in Galactic Racers as well.
Yeah, no, there was an official post by the CEO for the publisher for Galactic Racer, confirming, oh yeah, it's a Star Wars racing game. Of course there's going to be pod racing. We wouldn't be making a racing game without it. And I was like, oh, okay, sold. I was already sold to begin with, but now you're saying there's also pod racing? Duh.
April 1st through the 4th, 2027, Star Wars Celebration Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
May 28th, 2027, Star Wars Starfighter theatrical movie. And I saw somewhere that this movie takes place 5 years after The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, they confirmed that when they announced the movie. Was that a D23?
Maybe.
It was where they announced it, I think.
Yeah.
Or it might have been, no, I think it was Celebrations, the last Celebrations where they announced it. But they confirmed it was going to be taking place 5 years after Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. And if the rumors are to be true, Steven Spielberg came in and directed one scene of that movie. And then Tom Cruise came in and actually held a camera in like some kind of swamp water for a lightsaber fight.
Yeah, no, with that coming out, like with him being on set and specifically what kind of scene he was filming, I was like, everybody's like, I thought this film was not going to have lightsabers. Who has lightsabers besides Rey? Like, that's where everybody's like,
yeah,
going into is like, who the heck, what?
So I'm wondering if Star Wars Starfighter is just a sort of a prequel or a lead-in to the Star Wars
like Jedi New Order.
Yeah, New Order movie.
I can see it because I know they did. Daisy Ridley has been on a talk show. I've seen her on a talk show interviewed about the Star Wars Rey film. She says, "Oh yeah, it's going great," and nothing else. Like she's been Disney PR trained. She's like, yeah.
She knows
great.
nothing.
Like, that's it.
So and then we have some undetermined to be announced series here. So we got Star Wars Ahsoka Season 2, 8 episodes. Untitled James Mangold movie. Untitled Sherman Obed Sheon movie. Untitled Taki Waititi movie. Untitled Simon Kinberg trilogy. Untitled David Filoni movie.
Which Filoni film is Heir to the Empire. We already know that.
Oh yeah, probably.
No, it is. And then he straight up confirmed it himself.
And then 5 to be announced games. Star Wars Jedi 3, which I think will get an announcement this year and the game next year.
Probably. More than likely.
Star Wars Eclipse, which I think on. Yeah.
No, Quantum Dream has actually came out too, saying it's like, oh yeah, we're still working on it. It's like,
which I think takes place.
Anything about it, and like that's taking place in the High Republic.
Well, like sometime after the High Republic novels, but before the prequel trilogy.
Yeah, it's after the novels. I think it's going to be before. Oh God, Acolyte.
Because we see the Trade Federation signature donut ship in there, so that definitely says like Trade Federation versus somebody at this point. Knights of the Old Republic remake, Untitled Skydance new media game. Not sure who Skydance is actually. I'm not gonna lie.
Skydance?
Yeah.
You don't know who Skydance is? Skydance is that is that the Uncharted?
I never played Uncharted. I didn't have a PS3 growing up. I had an Xbox 360.
Oh, Skydance is it the game?
Skydance New Media.
Oh, Skydance New Media?
Yeah.
Because that is a Skydance production. Skydance is just like a movie / TV production.
Skydance Media.
Yeah, because they did all. Skydance did, if I'm not mistaken, they did Terminator. I think.
Skydance does movies and a lot of stuff. Flyboys, True Grit, Mission Impossible. G.I. Joe, World War Z,
Oh yeah, Terminator. Yep, that's what.
Terminators, Top Gun Maverick.
Yep. So we'll see. Whatever that's gonna be. So there's Skydance. Yeah, Skydance Television. Oh, there is Skydance Games. Oh my God, I didn't know they have a game studio. Yeah. Okay.
There's
That's
your
cool.
television section. Jesus.
There's a lot. Anyway, yeah,
Sorry.
a lot of Star Wars stuff. So be prepared for that. To let you know, the last episode of Maul Shadowlord drops on May 4th,
Yeah.
which is awesome, and it's going to be 2 episodes every week.
Yeah.
So it's going to be that's going to be only a 5-week long series. So
Yeah, which it's not bad. That's not bad.
yeah.
And everyone was saying like, why are they, releasing these on Thursdays, why not Tuesdays like they usually do? Well, because they wanted it to end on May 4th. That's why.
That's literally the only reason. This is what we can do.
Let's see,
So,
what can we line up here?
end this on Star Wars Day, and then have a bunch of Star Wars Day announcements on also with the last 2 episodes of the series. Yeah, no, it's pretty good stuff. So yeah, with that, let's get back into more of the Sith Wars stuff.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
All right, so the events of the old Sith Wars. So the old Sith War, or the Great Sith War specifically, starts in 3996 BBY. So in that year, oh my God, we had all these conflicts in the same year. Holy crap! So we have the Dark Reaper campaign, the duel on Kuar, Battle of Forost, the Battle of Coruscant, Sith Uprising, Duel in the Senate, Battle of Koveri, Battle of Complex 9, First Battle of Irodonia, Battle of Osis, Battle of the Althar system, Third Battle of Onderon, Battle of Toprora, Battle of Yavin 4, the recapture of the Empress Teta system, and the Great Sith War ends in 3996 BBY. So it starts in 1 year, and all this happens in 1 year.
Yeah, I'm guessing it ends with the recapture of the Emperor's Tetra system. Now, really, the only thing from this list I know of is the Dark Reaper campaign. Not the campaign itself, but the Dark Reaper. In the Xbox game Star Wars Clone War, which was mostly a vehicle fighting game, as it were, the whole campaign is Count Dooku and Sidious trying to find this ancient Sith weapon that can drain the force of everything it touches, called the Dark Reaper. And most of the campaign is finding clues to what this Dark Reaper is and how to destroy it. And eventually falls on Anakin to find a Sith holocron, learn from the Sith holocron of how to defeat this Dark Reaper. I'm not joking.
What?
Yes, the Republic launches this massive invasion of this planet in order to find the Sith holocron, which Anakin finds and learns from. So that way he can destroy the Dark Reaper. It is weird. And at the end of the game, you just see Anakin sort of like take those first steps becoming a Sith. This is like his first step.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, also within this list of battles, we have a Battle of Coruscant. Not surprising, because Coruscant's always under siege.
Because it's always the capital, so everyone thinks if you capture the capital, the other side will give up.
The Battle of Osis is actually mentioned in Star Wars: The Old Republic, because during the the Eternal, whichever I think it's the Eternal Fallen Empire. Is
God,
the Fallen
there's
Empire one first or Eternal Thrones first? I always get these mixed up.
Eternal Throne, Knights of the Eternal Empire, maybe. God, I can't remember. I have to look this
Okay.
up now.
I know, I'm looking it up. SWTOR expansions.
Expansion
Expansion
order.
Let's see.
Rise of the Hutt Cartel, Shadow of Revan, Knights of the Fallen Empire, Knights of the Eternal Throne,
Fallen
Onslaught,
Empire.
and
Okay.
Legacy of Sith.
So you go to Ossus in Fallen Empire, which you find out the Jedi haven't been on Ossus for centuries because there was a giant battle there that left it pretty scarred.
Yeah.
And no one just went back to it because of the Battle of Ossus being the main planet where the Jedi had their council, or like that's where they were. That was the main world the Jedi were on before they moved to Coruscant. So we have that battle. Battle of Yavin 4, which Exar Kun's on Yavin 4.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where this is all going. Yeah, and those, I would say those are the main ones that's going to be on there, and then obviously the recapture of the Empress Teta system.
Yeah.
Which then the Great War ends. Leading after that, and at 3995 to 3966 BBY, we have the Restoration period, where everything's kind of like, hey, we need time of peace so we can restore things to where it should be.
Okay, let's all take one giant collective breath and calm down.
Yeah, that took what? Was that 29 years?
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah. And then, but also during 3995 BBY, so right after the Great Sith War ends, we have the Great Hunt. So in 3995 we have the cleansing of Alderaan in Yavin 4. 3994 BBY we have the cleansing of Tython. And then 3993 BBY we have cleansing of Tatooine, Kashyyyk, and Korriban. And then we have the cleansing of the 9 houses, which the Great Hunt ends in 3993 BBY.
Now, the Great Cleansing is essentially going through, finding all like the little hidden Siths spread throughout the galaxy and their artifacts and any abominations they create. Because for some reason, Sith love alchemy and just experimenting on creatures, making new horrible things for some reason.
Yeah, we see some of those in KOTOR 2 when you go to Korriban. Hooray! I love invisible enemies. God, I hate those things. Anyway, and then we have the Conclave on Axis Station in 3986 BBY. Then we have the Canned Disorders from 3970 to 3670 BBY, which is 300 years, but that's only in one specific sector in the Outer Rim.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really affect anything as a whole. It's just constant warfare. But the main big one here is the Mandalorian Wars begin in 3976 BBY.
Yeah.
If you don't know what the Mandalorian Wars are, I don't know where have you been, but it's in KOTOR 1. Well, it's mentioned in KOTOR 1. It's already happened.
Yeah.
But
and funny thing is that in SWTOR, it's mentioned that the Mandalorian Wars were caused by the Sith Empire in hiding.
Yes.
They sent several Imperial agents out to find out, okay, how can we undermine the Republic and weaken their military? And they come up with, hey, Mandalorians, let's use them to strike at the Republic.
Yep. And you find out towards the end of the war, hey, Mandalore the Indomitable has actually been under control of someone. Or no,
Well,
is it Mandalore? No, it's Mandalore the Ultimate. Sorry, Mandalore the Ultimate's the one doing the.
yeah.
He's in charge of the Mandalorian Wars, but yeah, he's
Finally,
under control of this shit.
yeah, and funnily enough, his rise with power was the result of an Imperial agent literally manipulating everything behind the scenes.
Yep.
Because they found this guy, oh, he lines up with our ideology perfectly and what we need him to do.
Yep. So with the Mandalorian Wars, so in 3976 BBY we have the Battle of Althir. 3973 BBY we have the Battle of Cathar, which is which this battle is horrific because they essentially almost make the Cathar species extinct.
Yeah.
They almost they were committing genocide.
And Cathars,
Or
they're like
feline,
cat.
Yeah, they're like the
people.
feline humanoid species in the Old Republic.
Yeah.
They are canon. They're just only mentioned in canon. We don't physically see Cathars in canon yet. So, in 3973 to 3965 BBY, we have quite a few battles. We have the first battle of the Liana system. We have the battle of the Makeb system. Battle of the Quimeria system. We have the battle of the Catelia system. Battle of the Florence system, Battle of the Jamira system, Battle of the Simerith system, Battle of the Tassid system, Battle of the Dengora system, Battle of the Durantine system, the Raid of Coruscant, and the Raid of Azur. Or Raid on Azur.
Yeah. This all essentially being the Mandalorians essentially making their way to Coruscant.
Yep. That they are. And then we get into 3964 BBY, which is the Battle of Flashpoint Station, the first Battle of Shurjaw, the second Battle of Shurjaw, the third Battle of Shurjaw, the fourth Battle of Shurjaw, and the Battle of Vanku.
Yeah, and for essentially the next, really, over 5 years? No, that can't be right. Wait, the Mandalorian Wars from 3976 through 3960? That war lasted 16 years? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, it was bad. So, and then 3963 BBY, we have the Terra Siege, the first Battle of Onderon, the Battle of Wayland, Battle of Ithor, Battle of Ord Mantell, attacks on the Zabrak colonies, first Battle of Ironia, second Battle of Ironia, capture of Jebel, Battle of Sekro, Battle of Nuan, Battle of Daggery Minor, first Battle of Amaranth, Battle of Mirku, Amirik, and then second Battle of Amaranth, and the Battle of Jebel.
They did a lot of fighting.
Oh, so much happens in the Mandalorian Wars. It's crazy. And by the way, like you and anybody who wants to like read up on this stuff, there is the Old Republic comics, which does tie into this.
Yeah.
Which we see the comic panels of Revan getting the mask and everything, which is cool. So in 3962 BBY, we have more battles. We have the Battle of Eshin, Battle of Halthor, skirmish on Pandacom, raid on Dantooine. Mind you, the Jedi Council had they were on Dantooine.
Yeah.
The Battle of the Choros system, Battle of the Randon system, Battle of Eris 3, Battle of Azur, Battle of Cantrum, Battle of the Geyser system, Battle of the Nazari system, Battle of the Vena system, Battle of the Ambria system, Battle of the Zell system, Battle of Comenor, Battle of the Queller system, Battle of the Exodine system, and Battle of Duro. Duro meaning is the planet where the Duros species is from.
Yeah.
So, oh boy, yeah, it's a lot. And there's more. Just wait, there's more. So 3961 to 3960 BBY, we have the Liberation of Terrace, which is going to be very, mind you, this is going to be very sad for Terrace later. The Battle of the Vortiz system, Battle of the Lukazek system, Battle of the Sinto system, Battle of the Alam system, Battle of Jaga's cluster, Battle of Althir, Second Battle of Onderon, and the Battle of Dunks. Or Dung. Or Zun? Dune? I think the D is silent. It's DXUN. You go to this moon in KOTOR 2, and I can't remember how they pronounce it.
No. Okay, yeah.
And then 3960 BBY, we have the Second Battle of the Lunaria system, the Battle of Malachor 5, which then ends the Mandalorian Wars in 3960 BBY.
Yeah, that shatters both sides right there.
Yeah, no, the Battle of Malachor 5 did very bad, did great damage to both the Mandalorians and the Republic both.
Now, they do bring Malachor 5 back into canon, but not in the traditional...
They call it Malachor.
Yeah.
We don't know which one, because there's multiple Malachors. But yes, Malachor is back in canon thanks to Rebels. We know there was a giant battle between the Sith Jedi and the Sith, thanks to all the
lightsabers,
bones, lights, and fickled out lightsabers.
Husks of people.
Yeah. And
which is interesting.
There also being a Sith temple.
Yeah, which is interesting since Malachor was Republic versus Mandalorians. In canon, it's Jedi versus Sith. So they changed the dynamic of Malachor very much.
Yes. Yep. Which then goes back to the whole point of, George Lucas, there was no wars between Jedi and Sith. Go to Rebels, there is.
Yes, there is.
And
no,
canon,
there's not.
And then canon also confirms the war between Mandalorian. He confirms the Mandalorian Wars existed because he, when he's training Sabine in the ways of using a lightsaber, aka the Darksaber, he is literally saying, the Jedi won the war, you lost, blah, 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 hinting the Mandalorian Wars existed. Which is pretty cool. Alright, so now getting to the events of the Jedi Civil War. Now this is KOTOR 1, mind you.
Yes.
This is all KOTOR 1. So this is going to be, it starts in 59 or 59 BBY. So we do have some unknown battles. We don't know when they take place. So we have the Battle of Rhodia, the Battle of Mon Gaza, and the Battle of the Atlantic System. Now, Rhodia being the homeworld of Rhodians, but all three of these battles we do not know when they took place in the year or where. So in 3958 BBY we have the Battle of Fort Rost. 3958 BBY we have the bombing of Telos 4,
which is where essentially we the players pick up
in KOTOR 2. That's in KOTOR 2 is where they're bombing. Telos 4 is where we go to KOTOR 2. That first planet we go to. Yep. It's the first planet we go to after leaving Paragus. Is Telos.
Oh, right. It's where they're trying to restore the planet. That's right.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Then we have the capture of Darth Revan, which obviously then eventually becomes the start of KOTOR 1. Because you, the main player, spoiler alert for a 20-year-old game, you are Revan.
Mm-hmm.
So, then we have the attack of the Endar Spire, which is the very first thing you do after creating your character, is you're on the Endar Spire trying to escape the attack from the Sith. It's not going too well, mind you, for most of it, because the Endar Spire does fall. You get to go visit you do get to go visit the remains of the Endar Spire in SWTOR though.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. Then we get to by the way, this the capture of Darth Revan was in 3957 BBY. The attack of the Endar Spire is 3956. So it's 1 year after the capture of Revan, where your mind's wiped and all that.
Yeah.
And all the stuff going down here is going to be in 3956 BBY. So we have the rescue of Bastila Shan, which is what you do on Terrace with your friend, friend in quotes, because I'm not a huge fan of Karth, but he's with you.
he was all right. He was kind of an annoying little downer most of the time.
Like, when I go and play Mass Effect 1, I always end up leaving Caden for dead because he's voiced by Karth.
Wow.
Sorry. Nothing against the voice actor. I love the performance is great. But, like, I wasn't a huge Karth fan. Like, he's always a Debbie Downer. Always. But hey, T3. T3 is my main. T3 is great. But anyway, then we have the destruction of Terrace.
That's what I was thinking of earlier.
This is where Malik bombards the entire planet.
It's like, okay, screw this. Destroy the planet. I'm done.
Trying to have him escape. We'll just bomb the planet. So it literally is decimated.
Yeah.
And what you see if you go, and then if you ever go and play Star Wars Old Republic and go to Terrace on either side of the Republic or the Sith side, you see the planet is decimated from Malik's bombing and still recovering hundreds of years later.
They considered Terrace the Coruscant of the Outer Rim because it was looking like Coruscant's rival, a whole city planet.
Oh, absolutely.
You couldn't see the ground at all.
Nope.
You come SWTOR,
you're on the ground.
You're on the ground.
And by the way, the Rackles are still a problem.
Oh boy.
250 years later. Almost 300 years later, whatever it is. And then we get to the rebellion on Kashyyyk. So this is obviously where you, the player, as Revan, with your companions, going to go and find all the star maps to find the Star Forge. Then you go and have the raid on the Sith Embassy, which was that?
That's on
Manon?
the healing. Yeah, Manon.
Okay, that's what I thought. We have the attack on Dantooine. Then we get to the skirmish aboard the Leviathan, which was originally Revan's flagship, which then obviously Malik took over since he thought Revan was dead. But he's not.
Nope.
Then we get to the skirmish on Korriban, where you're infiltrating the Sith Academy, trying to find the star map there. And then that's where you come across Malik again and confirming to everyone, hey, yeah, that's Revan you're with. And also then everybody realizing, oh, what? No, that can't be true. And then Bastila confirming everything.
And then somehow in one of the tombs you can get your old gear back.
Can't you? Oh, yeah, you can. Yeah.
Yeah, in one of the tombs somewhere, you just like bomb a tomb open, and all of a sudden there's your old stuff in a chest.
Yeah.
Doesn't explain how it got there, but...
Hey, I'm all for it, though, because I can look like Revan when I fight Malik. That's fine. And I'm always a Jedi at the end, which is the canonical ending for the game. And then we have the Battle of Rakata Prime, which is obviously the very end of the game. You destroying the Star Forge, taking down Malik, redeeming Bastila, and long live happy ever after. Kind of.
Well, not long live.
No, it's not long lived. It's a couple years, and then he's good for 5 years, and then kind of hits the fan.
Yeah.
Getting recaptured by the Emperor, being and then being subject to torture and being in prison for over 300 years. Yeah, it's not great. And the Jedi Civil War ends in 3956 BBY with the death of Malak. So,
Yeah.
but then the Sith Civil War begins in 3956 BBY.
So all the Dark Jedi and Sith who followed Revan, it's like, oh no, we gotta go. We out into the galaxy, carve up their own small little empires.
Yeah, and this is also kind of where the Sith Trinity kind of comes
Triumphant.
around. Or triumphant, thank you. That. Then we get the Dark Wars, which begin in 3955 BBY, with the expedition to Korriban in 3955, and then we get the first Jedi Purge in 3954 to 3951 BBY. Yeah, this is where all the by the way, Sith Civil War. Wow. KOTOR 2 starts at 3951.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
a few years, but this is where the first Jedi Purge is with why there is very little Jedi in the galaxy come to the events of KOTOR 2.
yeah, because the Republic is in a very weakened state. They can barely hold on to any core worlds, and the Jedi are like, and the Republic's like, yeah, Jedi, you're on your own. You guys caused this last war.
You're the whole
you guys
reason
are
we
you
were
guys
in
are
this
on your
mess.
own. And the Sith like, Uno card, now we're hunting you.
Right.
Uno reverse. We're hunting you.
So then we have the Conclave of Qatar in 3952 BBY, and then the destruction of Qatar in 3952 BBY. So, not the best. I think, was this I'm trying to remember what the first... This is with the Miraluka... colony of the Miraluka species. So this is where... Oh god, what's her name? She becomes one of your companions. Visamar. That's right. This is where
the
she's
redhead.
from.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
She's
This
blind.
is
She is a
the
Miraluka.
blind. Yeah, the blind species.
Yeah, she's a Miraluka, so she sees through the force with no. They don't have eyesight. So, then we get to 3951 BBY with the skirmish at Paragus 2, which obviously this is with KOTOR 2. Canonically, this is where you play as Metra Surik, which is a female Jedi exile, where Revan obviously being male in KOTOR 1. So
if Malak was Revan's second command, the Jedi exile was like third in command.
Yeah, so like Malak was Revan's right-hand man. If he had a left-handed person, it would have been Metra Surik.
Yeah.
So, and then we have the Battle of Kunanda in 3951 BBY, which is this?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is
so long.
This is Dantooine. Pretty sure.
Planes on Dantooine.
Okay, yeah. So this is on Dantooine where you get to go, and once you get off Paragus, you get to Telos 4. You go off, once you finally get the Ebb and Hot working and everything, you go off to Dantooine, try to find Jedi Masters to train you again, and all that fun stuff. Then we get the Onderon Civil War at 3951 BBY with the blockade of Onderon and the Second Battle of Onderon. So, that's fun. Which, this is where you go to... it's Moon Zune, or whatever that... Whatever, how you want to pronounce it. DXUN, where you find Mandalore, the...
Mandalorians.
Or Mandalore, you find Mandalore. What's his title? Because it's oh god, what's his name?
The Mandalorian from the first KOTOR 1.
Oh god. Oh shoot. This is gonna drive me insane. What was his name? Let's just see. Mandalore the Preserver. Ordo.
That I think that was him.
Canderous Ordo.
Yeah.
Yeah. From Clan Ordo. Yeah. So he's your companion in the first KOTOR. Through the novel of KOTOR 2, or Star Wars The Old Republic Revan, we find out he becomes Mandalore the Preserver.
At the behest of Revan.
Oh, yeah, on behest of Revan and everything. But obviously we didn't get that book until like over almost 10 years after.
Yeah, because
it happened. So what? KOTOR 2 was 2000. Is that 2003 or 2004?
4?
Man, this is. Hang on. Appearances. Star Wars the
Release date. 2004.
4
on Xbox, 2005 on PC.
So 2004. That's when I played it. And SWTOR was 2011. The book came out 2010. So 6 years after the original source material.
Yeah. And essentially, that Mandalorian, he waited for like years for Revan to show up because he knew Revan's going to be doing something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And he turned down job after job just waiting for Revan.
Yeah.
And when Revan finally showed up, Revan says, "No, I can't take you with me. I need you to reorganize the Mandalorians and have them act as a shield for the Republic if I find what I'm looking for out in the Outer Rim."
Mm-hmm. If I find what I'm looking for, we need like
Mandalorians.
Soldiers.
Yeah.
We need soldiers to help. So then we get to the Battle of Telos 4 in 3951 BBY, which this is the fight where you take down Nihilus. And do you fight Scion too in this battle?
No.
Or is that
you
after?
fight him at Malachor. You fight
him on Malachor. Okay, so this is Nihilus, who's a joke. He's all bad in the game, and then you fight him, and you kill him pretty easily, which is kind of sad. And then you get to the Battle of Malachor 5, or Battle of Malachor, in 3951 BBY, where then this is where you fight Darth Sion, who that was a tough fight, because he kept regenerating and coming back alive.
The Sith who refused to die, who's too angry to die.
Like, Atton's like comment is like, wow, that's a guy who looks like he sleeps with his vibroblades. But
and
you
to
have
be fair,
to...
he has a giant hole in his chest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the only way to kill him, like have him actually die, is through like dialogue. For have him like accept your death, it's finally over, and then he finally dies.
Yeah.
And then you fight Darth Treya, who you find out is Kira.
Yep. It's like, oh shoot, my mentor is my enemy.
Yeah, and that fight was bullshit. I'm sorry. That fight is extremely hard. You have to cheese it to win, because with KOTOR 2 being an incomplete game, that fight was stupid. She has 3 lightsabers hovering around her.
That she never touches, by the way.
She uses the Force to control them. It's terrible. I hate it. Horrible fight. But you have to cheese it to finally get to the end. Anyway.
Speaking of end.
Yeah, right. Then we have the Dark Wars, and so the Dark Wars, the First Jedi Purge, and the Sith Civil War, all in, well, the Dark Wars and the First Jedi Purge end in 3951 BBY, with the Sith Civil War ending in 3950 BBY.
Oh, and that is essentially the end of the Sith Wars.
Yes.
I know these are like a series of just dates that we've been listing off, and we do plan on going on to detail on some of these. But again, this is just like 40 years of the Old Republic.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's more than 40.
Well, just this list.
The old Sith Wars is 50 years. The original Sith Wars was way longer than that. We started at 39... What was it?
3996 with the Great Sith Wars. then we end in 3950.
Oh,
So about 46 years, roughly.
about almost 50 years.
Yeah, almost 50
So,
years.
okay. And then the Sith Wars themselves were going to be part of the 3600s, which is another 300 years after this, because it's during the time of the MMO.
Yep. Well, that's called like the Galactic Civil War or Galactic War.
The Galactic War, the Great Galactic War,
Galactic War. Yeah.
because it's half the galaxy fighting each other.
Yep.
So literally. So yeah, it's fun stuff. But yeah, that's a little taste of the Old Republic. We actually did get this to be a full-length episode, so which is awesome. Just what happens when we talk. But yeah, so I mean, what do we want to dive more into different battles with the next episode, or do we want to do a deep dive on specific characters from the Old Republic?
I think we start with a Sith Triumvirate.
Okay.
Go from
so we'll dive in. Do you want which one you want to dive in first? Nihilus, Scion, or Traya?
Let's start with Nihilus. He's kind of the
Nihilus?
well, yeah, because
you want to go in the order that
first.
You want to go in the order who we kill first?
Yeah, let's go in that order.
All right, cool, awesome. Well, everybody, stay tuned for Darth Nihilus episode, which we haven't done yet, or have we done that?
I'm not sure. You've done so many of them.
I have done way too many of these. Anyway, we'll go into one of the Darths. So, if being Nihilus, if we've done Nihilus before, we'll do Scion next. So, anyway, stay tuned for that. But do you have any final thoughts on the Sith Wars?
Oh, there were so many Sith, so many wars.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
A lot of wars. Anyway, stay tuned for more.
Thank you for listening to Holocron History, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends. You can find us on the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, the Ben and Friends podcasting Discord, where you can share your thoughts, experiences, and love for the Star Wars lore. And don't forget, for the Republic.
At Blinds.com, it's not just about window treatments. It's about you, your style, your space, your way. Whether you DIY or want the pros to handle it all, you'll have the confidence of knowing it's done right. From free expert design help to our 100% satisfaction guarantee, everything we do is made to fit your life and your windows. Shop up to 40% off with minimum purchase and a free professional measure right now at Blinds.com. Plus, pay at your own pace starting at 0% APR with Affirm. Terms apply.